This one was surprising just because there was so much crap out there about C.J. Stroud.
Right.
And it confirms what someone was trying to do. Someone was trying to get C.J. Stroud to fall. Someone was trying to start the lawnmower on a slide. Mixing my metaphors, I know, but that's fine. I didn't sleep much. C.J. Stroud, the S2 scores, he didn't go to the Manning Passing Academy, and all the other stuff that was out there. Oh, he's going to slide. Oh, he's going to slide. How far is he going to slide? He's going to slide out of the top 10. I don't know. Maybe he'll slide out of the top 10. Maybe that slide really gets started. Where's the spot for C.J. Stroud if he doesn't go in the top 10? If he goes past number 11 to the Titans, where's it end? I don't know. And there it is. There's not even a slide. He's the second guy taken. And the betting markets reflected it not long before the draft. He became the overwhelming favorite to be the number 2 pick of the Texans, just underscoring how important that inside information is. And once people get it and they start betting on Stroud, there it goes. And there go the numbers. And there he is with the number 1 jersey, the ceremonial pick. And, he's a big guy. He is 6'3", taller. Commissioner's tall.
Yes, he is.
C.J. Stroud, much bigger than he looks.
Bigger than he looks in his uniform.
In a chair.
Right.
Yeah. He's a taller, larger human than you would think that he is, and the Texans get their quarterback now to take over post Deshaun Watson.
Well, I mean, this was the absolute, the first curveball of the draft, where you're just like, what? Because of what all you said and what was said by everybody. Again, and like we discussed, there were so many people that, not even in the quarterback conversation that, that S2 score and whatever, that was a real concern and all of that. I think there's two things that jump out to me. I'm excited, one, because I think he's the best quarterback in the draft, and on the field, to me, he was the best, and I thought by, a notable margin. I know I differ from a lot of people there with Bryce Young and all that, but I really like his game. And what I love about it, Mike, is that we have a team there and the Texans, and maybe a team that, like you're saying, put the bad information out there that we're like, hey, screw the S2 score. We know what we see. We know the guy, and we're not going to put all our eggs in that damn basket. So I do give that credit, and I feel for the young man, C.J. Stroud. And where I think the draft was crazy different this year too, I really got the feeling, and I kind of said this when I was doing stuff last night, that I think this year teams put out more false information and curveballs and things out to the public to throw people off more than ever. I really do. I got that sense. I mean, again, I think it was – I talked to people who were close to the Texans, and some of my thoughts that were linked to them. So, and then you could even tell how surprised he was and how surprised other guys were in the first round. Like, oh, whoa, this team's picking me? So that made me think that, yeah, there was a lot of teams that really kept it close to the vest this year.
And we'll hear more from Chris Ballard coming up in a little bit, the GM of the Colts, on the false information that was out there all over the place as the draft approached. Let's have a listen before we go any farther to C.J. Stroud, along with Texans coach DeMeco Ryans and GM Nick Caserio, on the decision to go quarterback at number 2.
Start with C.J. Really productive player. We had him in the building for a visit. He's, I would say, as competitive a player. Has an edge about him in a good way, loves football, wants to compete, wants to be great.
My mission right now is just to accept the opportunity that I've been given and really just take it full go. And I'm really excited to go be teammates with the guys in the locker room, have fun with them, build relationships, build bonds, have team camaraderie. I think that's something that I bring to the table really well, is just how I can lead. And I'm really excited to get in that locker room. And I haven't been in the locker room in 4 months, so I'm really excited for that.
One of the other narratives that was making the rounds, the idea that the common thread between representation of Deshaun Watson and C.J. Stroud would get the Texans to shy away. But I wrote about this over the weekend. It never got ugly. There was never any personal stuff thrown out there. Deshaun Watson wanted to be traded.
Yeah.
And the agent coordinated the trade, period. There have been past guys who didn't want to play in a certain city. It didn't stain the agent. It didn't kill the relationship between that agency and that team moving forward, whether it was Tom Condon representing Eli Manning, who told the Chargers, get the hell out of here, or when Drew Rosenhaus presided over the Terrell Owens reign of terror in Philly in 2005. It was, oh, well, they're never gonna draft another Drew Rosenhaus player. No, it was never an issue. That was never an issue. Nick Caserio addressed that before the draft as well, that it isn't an issue and clearly wasn't an issue. And now C.J. Stroud, a member of the Houston Texans, quarterback of that team. Sorry, Davis Mills. Sorry, Case Keenum. Your services won't necessarily be needed once C.J. Stroud is up to speed.
No, and I think he really fits what they want to do. I do. That's where I love it. Again, his ability to stand in the pocket, make big time throws, right? They're going to ask him to be, what we saw Brock Purdy be with the 49ers and all that. And, of course, he's like Brock Purdy on steroids with what he can do as compared to that athleticism, big arm, play action pass. Oh, wait, okay, we got a guy running a 25-yard crosser and somebody running a post corner 50 yards down the field. He can just make those throws with ease. He can. And, again, the film never lends you to believe that this is not a guy that can't process information and do all the proper things. It's where I was kind of shocked by all this stuff that came about early in the process, or not early in the process, but just lately. Full disclosure, the Simms family, my dad, my brother, they work with the future Ohio State quarterback, Kyle McCord, who's there. And he never said a bad word about C.J. Stroud. It was always like, he's the man. Oh, my gosh. He can do everything. He's smart. He's got a great arm. He's highly competitive. So Nick Caserio being an Ohio guy, too, I bet you he had some connections in there into, a little deeper look of the guy and what makes him, and that's what made them feel comfortable about picking the right guy at number 2, and I'm happy for them for that, for sure.
One of the concerns that, and again, I don't like trafficking in this stuff before the draft because I don't participate in whatever it is that's going on. Whether it's teams trying to get a guy to fall so they can get him, the ultimate Machiavellian approach to the draft. We love you so much, we're going to spread bullcrap about you so we can draft you, so we can have this relationship with you. We're going to kill the relationship in advance and hope you never find out so we can have a relationship. But it's also rival agencies. And we'll talk more about that coming up as it relates to Will Levis. And you know what? And as it relates to the BS, we'll skip ahead because Chris Ballard and the Colts on the clock at number 4, they took a guy that surprised all of us. Here's Ballard talking about some of the BS that made the rounds before the draft.
All the crap that comes out about these kids, it's crap. Like, it's bullshit. I'm sorry, but it's bullshit. Like, people that leak these stories, these negative stories on kids, I don't agree with it. It's bullshit. These guys work their ass off to get where they need to be, and then all week you got to read and stories and then they got to answer questions on it. So anyway, not on Anthony, it's on some other kids in the draft that are good kids, and I thought had to take a little bit of a beating that they shouldn't have had to take.
It's like, way to go, Chris Ballard.
Clearly,
up. Yeah.
Talking about C.J. Stroud, without question.
Right.
And, somebody that I know and trust, I spoke to about C.J. Stroud, because there are some folks out there who really didn't care for the guy.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying.
It's all subjective.
Right.
It's all subjective.
That's right.
And it's fine if you don't care for the guy, but the problem is that starts to make the rounds, and then the people who do like him start pushing that stuff. And again, the agencies get involved. CAA has Will Levis. Athletes First has C.J. Stroud. We want our guy to go higher. We want their guy to go lower. We want to be able to use this as a feather in our cap that we help make this happen. That's part of it too. But one of the things about C.J. Stroud that I trust, that I heard is, he's a young kid who's got some unresolved issues. He's got some unresolved demons. And the concern is, do they manifest themselves at some point? But that's part of the coaching process. That's part of getting to know someone and helping him mature. These are all very young men. We all have issues at every stage of our life. The issue is diagnosing, helping, assisting. It's a great talent that C.J. Stroud possesses, and he clearly wants to play in the NFL. He wants to be a great player. He wants to come in and be the best human, quarterback, teammate, friend he can be. And now it's up to the Texans to draw that out of him. That's the other part of this. When these players bust, we blame it on them. No, sometimes, a lot of times, it's the team's fault. And the team has to take this baton now and run with it and get the most out of the player. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.